What? See the Canadian bacon?
Okay. That'll make for a good ride home.
Yeah, that'll make
Parents,
good.
you guys hear me over there? Can you hear me? You move closer, please. Can you hear me? It's okay. So I just wanted to congratulate the guys in terms of a good tournament. I thought it was a great experience for them. The first two games, we only lost by 1 goal each. And then we had the floodgates in this last game. It was kind of frustrating in the first and second half a little bit there. You could see that they were developing some things and we just weren't able to pull the trigger initially. So I think it's been a great tournament by way of experience. So the whole scope of this has been, for myself, is really development, competition, and thus then exposure. We had some national team scouts, or national scouts I should say, that were here in the first game that watched us. And then I asked them to come in the second game. They did come in the second game and saw us. And I thought everybody that we've talked to, all of the opposing teams that we've played against, have talked about how well we play. And this is the style of play that I like. I like skillful players and I can move the ball up short. And I think that the power and the speed was essential for all of these players to play in. To learn to play quicker and play with their mind quicker, as opposed to step on the ball, be the best player on their team, and get away with some things that produce bad habits. Would you agree with me, players? In regards to that, it was a challenge. Yes, sometimes they were stronger. They put one hand on you, you lost your balance or your strength, you lost the ball. And I think that overall, it was a great display. I thought it was just great to watch all 3 games. I was very pleased just to watch them play. I think they enjoyed playing with other good players. Now, moving forward, this was great for us. I think we're great to have ourselves as regional champs, to actually come to the nationals and compete here. But it wasn't really about winning and losing for myself. And so, as we move forward, it won't necessarily be about winning and losing. It will be about the experience that we can gain from this, and thus then when they go back to their individual teams, have they gotten something out of it? Have they become better players? Can they reflect on this and thus then work on something that was exposed in these games? Now, I would like to get these guys back together for a tournament in Disney in November, right around Thanksgiving. So I'll make application, and thus then I'll put information out to you. That's the most pressing thing coming up for this fall. Also, I would like to take a team like this, if not everybody here, to Brazil. I have a contact in Brazil, so we're going to go into Rio in January, planning to do that. And so I'll put information out to everybody by way of email within the next week to give you a spec on what the cost would actually be, what the commitment financially would be, and thus then our time frame. We're looking at just after New Year's to go down to Brazil. We will play against some of the top clubs down there, Fluminense, Botafogo, Vasco da Gama, and then also Portuguesa. That's a smaller club. We will get 4 games out of a 10-day window. Relative to that, I'll get you that information as quickly as possible because I understand school and all of that. I've taken teams out of the country during that time of the year to Bolivia 2 years in a row. We went down to Tawichi and played in the Mundialito tournament, which is a U14, U15 type tournament. I think it'd be wise for us to go down to Brazil, a year prior to the World Cup, and thus then we can go back again. We have excellent contacts down there. The kids will actually stay on campus at Fluminense. They will actually be on campus and get a chance to be coached by some of the coaches from Fluminense as well. So that's the scope for the next part of this window of the fall season. Good job. Disney in November, and then hopefully to Brazil in January. So that's what I'm looking at. The final piece would be this in the spring. We'll be able to go to the Dallas Cup in April of next year, April or March of next year. Now, I don't know about your own individual teams. Your own individual teams may be making plans to go to Disney Cup or to Dallas Cup and all of that. But I'm still going to take a team, irrespective of that. I'm still going to go, and that's what I do. And thus then we come again next summer and take a look at what we want to do as a group. Okay, is that clear? Yes, sir. So, I want to say thank you for the opportunity just to coach you guys in a pretty competitive tournament. You played up, some of you played up in the ages, and I think you showed well. So I hope you guys had a great experience, coupled with mine. I had a wonderful experience. parents, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity again to work with your players or your sons. And hopefully I'll get a chance to do it again and then have us advance. As more information materializes, meaning I become a little more solidified in my position in Nashville, I'll put information out for you and say, okay, this is what I'm doing. Those are for the local players. You guys are welcome to come and train with me. And then for those players who are outside of the area, there might be windows in which you guys can send your players up and stay with us and then work. My biggest thing will be, look, as they advance, and I'll try to keep tabs on you guys, try to come out and see you play with your respective clubs. Then I'll get a chance to actually call my contacts and say, hey, you should take a look at this guy, take a look at this guy, and help you guys in terms of getting more exposure beyond this specific team. Okay? All right? So I want to say thank you again. Have a safe trip home. If you have any questions, feel free to tweet me, text me, Facebook me. I don't have any of those things. So hey, you're free to do it. Email me or call me. I'm sort of a neophyte. Okay, I'm old school. I like to get on the phone and talk to people. That's kind of how I am. I can do the email and so forth. Okay, but the Twitter and the text is pretty good. I'm pretty good on text. You can text me. All right. Facebook and stuff. I'm not there. So bear with me. All right. No questions. All right, prize and cherish those uniforms. Those are beautiful uniforms, $35, and a number on the back, much better than the regional tournament. So thank you so much. Thanks, Dad. Shake a hand and say, hey, have a safe trip home. Have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Go to the company 9005.
I got a black
That's my name. You guys are still going. How's your flight? We're hugging. It's a manly hug. No. No, I don't. Get it.